So welcome to today's class on DAX. So DAX stands for Data Analysis Expression. All right, notice how I use small letter E, because that's not really the main letter we use in their abbreviation. It stands for Data Analysis Expression. DAX is the main language used in Power BI. DAX is the main language used in Power BI. Now, because you are conversant with Excel, there are some overlapping functions between Excel and Power BI. And you would think they are the same. They are not the same. We can have like some overlapping function between Excel and Power BI. These just do the same thing, but that is the primary language of Power BI. And it is much more. So that is more like an extra power given to you where Power Query stops. You continue with that. And it's more on the analysis side. The strength of that is on the analysis side. And M code or M language, which is what powers Power Query, is on the preparation side, cleaning and preparation. So please use them for what they are meant for. You can't be using DAX for cleaning data. That's an abuse of DAX function. Use DAX for analysis, use M language or Power Query for data cleaning and preparation. Please take note of that. Those are their main functions. Don't use one for the other. They are all there at your beck and call. Now let's understand the syntax of DAX. So the DAX function, let's use this instance. Let's use this example. I want to calculate the total sales. So here we have sum. Just conversant with this function sum. Sales amount. Ask questions wherever you need to. This is a typical DAX syntax. This is the name, and then this is a measure. So this is the example of a measure. And I will tell you what a measure is shortly. So in this is the name of the measure or the calculation you're making. Name of measure. First, you know what this is equal to. This is the DAX function that will help you do the calculation. is the table name. And this is the table column. Or table column name. Or column name. And that's the syntax of DAX. In a nutshell, this is DAX function. Any question?
Please, can you explain that again, please? Go on.
That's fine. So DAX stands for Data Analysis Expression. It is the main language used by Power BI. So you know that in Power BI, we have the Power BI side and we have the Power Query. On the Power Query, we have the M code or M language powering the Power Query. And then on the Power BI side, we have the DAX function. And now DAX is mostly for analysis, while M language, which is from Power Query, for data cleaning and preparation. It is an abuse of function of DAX if you want to use it for data cleaning. It is a very powerful tool. Use it for what it is for, and it's going to give you optimal performance. We have some overlapping functions between Excel and Power BI, and DAX. You have overlapping function, just like the one I used here. And then I said, this is the syntax of DAX. The syntax is more like how the function is structured. And this is the basic function of the way it is. At this level, we want to calculate a measure, and I will explain what the measure is. This is the name of the measure. This is the function, the DAX function, which does the calculation on a numerical column. And this time around, the amount, sales amount. This sum cannot be used on categorical column. And I'm going to explain the categorical column again and numerical column shortly. This is a table. It's important you stop writing so that you don't confuse others. Please stop writing on the screen. This is a table, and then this is the column of the table. The DAX function picks the column, the table. It does the calculation on the column. Of course, there is no column without a table. So it does the calculation on the column from this table, and it returns a single number because it's a sum. And when I said categorical column, and numerical, these are the columns that do not do any arithmetic operation on. Non-arithmetic operation. So they are basically mostly the dimensions, and they are more like the text. They are the text column, and also dates. And some part of the dates, it could be wrong here, some part of the date you can also do operation on it anyways. You can subtract dates, but you have to use a time intelligence calculation. So these are numerical column are the ones where you have to perform arithmetic operation on. That is it about DAX. The simple explanation of DAX data analysis expression. Is this clear?
Yes, please. Thank you.
You are welcome. So let's dive in. So we are back to Power BI. Yesterday we were able to successfully build our data model, and to open in a short while now. So this is our data model.
Oh, good.
We're able to first build out our star schema. So let me make it look like a star schema. See
But
how
why
easy.
relationship and not finished it like this?
Now it looks like more like a star schema. When we are done building out this star schema here, we then decided to cascade it into a snowflakes. And I explained the difference between a snowflakes and a star schema. I'm going to do a recap here. So when we have all dimensions, all the dimension, the dim table, the dimension table, most times you will see it as this. You could see it on the database, on a data warehouse as this. Dim calendar, dim customer, dim territory, and dim products. The other ones are also dim, please. I'm not going to write them. Then the one inside is known as fact sales. A situation where all the dimension tables directly connects to the facts table without any form of additional table connecting by the side. It's called star schema. And this is star schema. Which is the recommended one. Now, when we start having tables joining by the side to an existing star schema, we then have what we call snowflakes. This is different from the snowflakes company you know about, a company named Snowflakes. So this is called snowflakes. Now, when a table, when I have to refer to, okay, so when you need to get something here, the product needs to get to product category through another table. We call this bridging table. Is this clear? If it is, let's go and do our DAX so we don't lose focus. All right, I take it that it's clear.
Yeah. Please.
All right, so let's go in. Most times it's important to just do your calculation here. You can do it. You can do your dash function any part of the tab now. It used to be on the view, on the report view, and on the table view. But I like doing mine here. Sometimes I do it here. So let's go. I want to do a calculation. So we have two types of calculation we do on. We have two types of calculation we will do on with that. We have two types of calculation, and these calculations are calculated column. So we have calculated column, then calculated measure. Please pay attention to this. Calculated columns and calculated measure. So when do we use one? So we use calculated column when we want to add things like slicer and filter. We're going to get to slicer and filter in during the report building. And or when you want to do some calculation that, in fact, the most important thing that you use calculated column when you want to add a new column. That's the most basic explanation. Use calculated column when you want to add a new column. Then use calculated measure when you want to do a simple calculation that don't need to take any space. Now let us demonstrate it. We are talking so much. Let's demonstrate it. That's how I like doing it. So let's go to sales table and do something. This is our sales table. So imagine we want to, go here. We want to give 7% to anyone who orders more than 2. If your order is more than 2, we give you 7% discounts on your orders. So let's see if this satisfies the data set we have. So let's click here and see how many. All right. So yeah, so we have up to 3 orders, which satisfy what we want to do. All right. So let's move on. Perform a calculated column, you come to the table tools, and then you will see new measure, quick measure, which works with this, and then new column and new table. Anything you do with this thing has to do with calculation, has to do with DAX function. Any of this works with DAX function. So we want to do calculated column, and there are 2 ways we can do it. We can click here and perform the calculation. So we do that, we click there and perform the calculation. So as soon as we did it, you can see it has given us an empty column waiting for us to start our calculation. So we want to calculate the discount of 7% to orders that are more than 3. And we saw it here, so let's go. We want to give discounts. And we say if orders are more than 3. So that means we're going to use if statement. And just like in Excel, you know, when you want to perform a conditional statement, you need to use if. So again, like in Excel, when you start typing, the intelligence starts helping you out. So I'm seeing if there, I'll pick it using my tab. And now it's telling me what it means. Checks whether a condition is met and return one value if true and another value if false. That's how simple it is. It says if a condition is met, return the value if it is true. Otherwise, return if it's not met, return false. It's more like saying, go to Francisca's house. If she is there, collect £10 from her. If she's not there, return without anything. And that's how simple it is. Just relate it to your everyday life. And what is our expression? The first thing it takes is the expression, which is the calculation itself. And what we want to say is, if we are working on this table, again, if you're working on a calculated column, you need to be on that table you're working on. So I will start typing If I want to get the name of the column, I will start with a square bracket and it will list the names of all the columns. Because I am on this table, if I am outside this table and I want to do another form of calculation, I will need to start with a single quote. A single quote brings out all the table. Single quote brings out all the table. All right, so this time around, we are here on the sales table. All right, so we are here on the sales table and we are performing calculation on the calculated column. So it's not giving us the other tables. Everything is expected to be here. Another thing it does is there are some functions that it will take and then it will trigger it to show other tables because you might need it for your calculation and you will see it over time. So now I am picking up order. Where is it? Order quantity. So if sales order quantity is greater than 2, and you know how to do greater than, I want you to return 7% is 0.07. Otherwise, just no discount. That's it. The expression. Here is the result if it is true. If it is not, return 0. And all I need to do is to click on my enter key or click outside this function window or click here and everything will run. And that's also one thing you must take note. If you have started writing that function and you forgot something, if you click out, it will run. But you can decide to close it or go ahead and click out, then return and continue your calculation. But when you click out, you're not done with what you're doing. It will return error, but you can come back and update it when you have gotten all your details right. So I will click here to run my function. And here we are, something has been done. Okay. If I select only this one and run it, you will notice it's only quantities that are more than 2. If I select just this and run it, less than 2, or 2 or less. So that is how amazing this thing is. That's how beautiful it is. Now notice as we did a calculated column, it created a column for us. A column has been created for us. Now let us do something. Let's calculate a measure, total quantity, something like that. We already have quantity there, so let's calculate a measure. So when I did calculate column, I came here. I clicked on new column. So this time around, I want to click on new. I want to get new measure. I want to use a different way. I want to go to a different place to do this calculation. And to do that, I will come to this sales table because I'm working on this place. And I will click the 3 ellipses here, and then you will see new measure. You can also see new column, new quick measure, and other things. Refresh if you want to refresh only that table, and go to query editor, manage relationship, do some incremental refresh, which you will get to know later in your career when you start working as a Power BI developer. You start understanding incremental refresh. So I want to do new measure. I'll click on new measure. Just like in new column, calculated column, it's just the same syntax. But I'm going to show you the difference shortly. We want to do total quantity. That's the name of the quantity. And because it's total quantity, I'm picking up the sales function. And now this particular, although I am here, although I am on that on the sales table, notice that the dash function on the Power BI understand that I am trying to perform a measure. And this measure is not going to be, it's not going to be hanging on any column. So it's giving me upfront for different tables, unlike the calculated column. So at this point, I want to go to, so I can just type sales because that's where it is, and see how I type the sales. I could actually type just sales and it should be able to come up. So, and I want the, what's it called? To order quantity, and I'll close it. You know the way you do function in Excel, and these are some of the overlapping functions between DAX and the Excel. Okay, I'm done here. And now what we did, when this calculation did not create any space, it did not take any column. It just created it somewhere here for us. Unlike the other calculation, discount, that created something for us, column. Now let us check the difference. This is a table. And when you check the symbol, you will notice that, can I increase this? When you check the symbol, you will notice that it shows a table format, rows and column. And then when you come here, of course, it's showing calculation, and the sign is more of a column, and it's showing you that you have done a calculation. And then when you bring it a bit down to the other quantity, it's showing you like a symbol of a calculator. These are the differences between columns, tables, and measures. Another thing, the major difference between a calculated column and a calculated measure is that a calculated column occupies a space in memory. So because a column is created, it is taking a space in the memory. It is not efficient. If you don't have to create a column, you don't need to do that. If you don't have to create a column, you don't need to do that. Just use measure. Only use column when it is, that's the only thing you can do. Otherwise, use measure. Measure does not take any space in memory. It only exists here as a formula here. But where do you use it? It becomes powerful when you come to the visual and pick up a chart and go to the total quantity, pick it up, and perhaps go to product, pick up, let's say, product color, and then it gives you that amazing calculation. This is where it becomes so powerful. That is the difference between calculated column and calculated measure. Calculated column takes a space in memory because it occupies a column. Calculated measure only exists as a calculation, as a formula, as a DAX function until you use it on the visual. So it doesn't take any space in memory. It just takes a very minimal byte in memory, and that is very efficient. All right, any question?
Well,
Not yet. Okay.
it's a bit shaking and confusing.
Which part of
So
it?
how do you know when to use which?
All right, so if you want to do any calculation that you want to see, for instance, any calculation you want to see on a table as a column, you use calculated column. For instance, this one, I want to see it here. I use calculated column. When I don't need to see it here, and most times you don't necessarily need to see it here, I can assure you, most times you don't necessarily need to see it here. You use measure. Do you know why most times you don't necessarily need to see it here? Every new column you wanted, most times all the columns you wanted, you would have created them in your Power Query. So you're coming to Power BI to build amazing DAX function using measures, or amazing measures using DAX function. So most columns you want to create, it's better if you can, do it up there in Power Query. It's when you can't that you can come here and do it with DAX. DAX function has more power because, it's for analysis.
Okay,
So
that's what I wanted to ask. That what is now the difference in doing this calculation in Power Query? Well, it's okay. I understand.
all right, that's fine. Any other questions, guys?
Sorry, Kingsley, can you repeat why we need to use that function? This thing Francisca just said now, I didn't really hear what your explanation on that.
When you want to, she asks, when do we use columns, calculated columns, and when do we use calculated measure?
No, that's not the question. I understand that part. I mean, this thing, can't it be done in Power Query, like this DAX function thing?
Yeah, I answered, most times you should do all your calculations in Power Query. This type of thing, you can use conditional column in Power Query under transform or add column. You can use conditional column to create this in Power Query easily. So if you can create it in Power Query, no need to come and create anything here with with calculated column. But when you can't, and come and create it here. In a nutshell, most times what you will be doing is creating measures in Power BI with DAX. Most times, that's what you'll be doing. It's lighter, doesn't take any space in memory. It is better. It gives you more power because it has the capacity to take up any part of has the capacity to access any table from any position. And it doesn't have to stay here. I can move this. This is DAX function. This measure, I can move it. So when you look at this measure, if you come up here, you will see it's total quantity. That's the name of the measure. And this is the table where it belongs to. I can move this to the territory table. And it will still remain valid. It will still remain valid. So
So what that means is that you can only do once instead of for every table you do total quantity.
Exactly. Imagine that you just do only once and you do it somewhere. And you can do like a kind of a more complex calculation. So let me explain to you something. So you have revenue, you want to calculate the profits. So first of all, you will need to calculate revenue and then do another subtraction. Revenue minus whatever the cost of sales, and then you get the profits. But if you want to do it in what's it called? With calculated column, you want to see your revenue table and column. You want to see everything. But with measure, just one calculation, you will get everything you're looking for. Now, that does not mean at every point you should always use DAX measure. No. Sometimes use columns so as to visualize what you're seeing on a table, so as to see what you're doing on a table, most times to be sure that it is working. So I use it a lot when I need to be sure that what I did is correct.
Eh?
All right, are we good?
Sit down there
Or if you
now.
want to take it out, if you want to delete it, you can go ahead and delete it, right?
Yeah, so if I want to delete any model, any function, any DAX function, I'll come to these three ellipses, click on it, and delete from model. That's how simple it is. Just the way you would delete table. That's how simple it is. All right, shall we move on?
Good. Power BI, we healed you.
Don't worry, you'll be all right. So let's come here. Although we have this, we have some of these things here. Let's just give me a moment. Let's move on. Sorry about that. Let's do some time calculation, time intelligence calculation. You know how we use we use the GUI, that is Power Query Interface, to get some of these amazing dates, month name, day name, quarter. Let's try and get some of them and do some beautiful things with the time intelligence we have in that. And we are going to do with time, this time around now, you see, this is where calculated column comes to play. We cannot do it with measure. It has to be calculated column. Now, can you see? So I'll come here, column. What do I want? I want to get the name of the day. You see this one here, day name. So let me get it. I just give it a different name. Name of the day. And I'm not doing so much here. So I will use a function called format. Let's see what it does. Format converts a value to text in the specified number format. Format converts a value to text in the specified number format. Now, what we want to do is to give it date value. And the date value we want to give it is this. So I'm going to start with this so as to get my calendar. This is what we want to give. The date value, it has taken it. What format do I want it? We want the name of the day. So the name of the day, I'm going to use, this is just what, we're not doing so much calculation. DD to specify the full name of the day. These things I'm going to, when I'm done, after some time now, I'm going to move you to, I'll take you to documentation so we'll see all these things for ourselves. DD stands for the full format for the day. Comma, what do I want again? Local name. Do I really need that local name? No. Sure, you know what local means. Where you are from, where you are. So I am okay with this.
Sorry, is there a different name? Monday is Monday now, or is it when you say date name? It's not clear.
You're so far away. I can't
Is
hear you.
my this thing. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I'm saying when you say local name for a date, is it the same thing as like the local, like that one you chose for United
Yes.
States?
The local, yeah. The local is the local, yeah. The one
Oh,
we do
okay.
for UK, US, different countries.
Okay, that's fine.
All right, so enter. And here we are. So it has used the dates column to tell us what day it is. And when you notice this, you see it's exactly correct with what Power Query gave us on the dates.
So that means, okay, if we don't have this day name already and we want to show the
Yes,
name of the day.
yes, you can do that. So it also gives you the power to, let's reduce, because if we have to type 4D, it means 1D means something, 2D means something, 3 means something. So let's start with 1D, enter. So 1D gives us a single name. So it gives us the name, names it 1, 2, 3, up to the 30th day of the month. So the month of the day, of the days of the month. Double D gives us double value. You know the way you want to write date, you say 0, 1. That's the way it gives it to us. Now that depends on what you want, remember? And then if we put 3 days, and check out what it gives us. The short form of the day. I mean, which is also good because everyone understands this language. Sense?
Can you put for lesson?
And 4 will not give you the full name, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Well, you know here one we did for. IBK, did you travel? Don't want to talk again.
I think the triple D
I'm
and
trying to unmute.
okay. I
Say
think the triple D and the 4Ds will make sense more because obviously I can deduce that 1st July 2016 we're talking about 01. So there's no point saying D
If they
or
want.
Yeah,
G.
okay, you're right. So it depends on the what you want to show.
depends on the use case.
Well, I mean in this case now where we'll have 01 July 2016. There's no point now still saying D again. Where we know we can actually see it from here.
There is. There is a whole lot of points. So sometimes when you want to sort your table, your date table in Power BI, you need those numbers to be able to sort it correctly. Because your date, say you want to sort day of the month, it will sort alphabetically. But if you have your date number sorted by date month number, it will sort that way. The same thing with weeks, day of the weeks. If you have the number, it will sort it that way. Use the number to detect which one should come first. So these things are important. Are we good? No response. All right, move on. Imagine we also want to do this format for months. Let's see what happens. MMM instead of the day. All right, so we have it there. Why don't you complete it? The 4n. Let's try and reduce it. 2m. That's the number of the month. 1, of course, you know what it will give us. In case we want to do for the week, how do we go about it? The week takes another method. So, right, so let me leave this the way they are. I will get the short form of the day, because I mean, that's what we're calculating. So let me create a new one. Calculated column. Let's take the week of the day. Week of the year. And I'm saying week of the day. Okay, so I'm going to bring it together to differentiate it from what we already have. No, we already have it there. Okay, so let's go. We have a function known as week A. So that means change this. Weekday, and again it takes the date column, takes the date column. Now watch, as I'm taking the date column, when I put my comma, watch what happens here. So it says the weekday returns a number from, that's taking the date column, the return type returns a number from 1 to 7, identifying the day of the week of a date. Identifying the day of the week of a date. So we are going, start from 1 to 7. So let's take 1 and see what it gives us. Okay, so having said 1, and 1 represents Monday for our ISO week. One represents, no, one represents 2, yeah, one, so 1
In this
represents
case, one will
Sunday.
represent Sunday.
1 represents Sunday. So what we have here is 6, and it goes up to 7.
Is this one not confusing?
Oh, obviously. Walai talai.
Yes.
Ah. How? So now, I'm not seeing where it mentions day name there. What I'm seeing is week of day equal to weekday. It's not clear to me. I thought what you're trying to check now to match this thing with is the day name. But you're not supposed to mention day name as the column name.
No, sorry, weekday. That's weekday.
Okay. So
Days of
based on that syntax,
the week,
week of the day
1 to
is
7.
the, wait, I'm coming. Based on the syntax that you gave us, week of day is the measure, is a
Weekday
calculated
is
measure
measure, yeah.
or
Is
name of the measure,
a
yeah.
function, yes.
Then weekday is the DAX function. Is that
This is the name
correct?
of the measure, yes, we want to create. This is the function.
Yes.
And it takes date
Then
column,
weekday is the DAX function.
then 1 starting from Sunday. If we put 2 here, let's see. So Monday changes to 5. So that means it's starting from 2.
Sunday.
It's starting from 2. And this is just like number. This is like,
Please, can you recap now how you did this one now? To change
it's
it
not the same
to
thing I did. I just want to know the number, the week of the date. That's all. Starting from Monday or starting from Sunday. So starting from Monday, we say 1.
like, I mean, what I mean is, how did you change it to start from Monday?
That's what I'm seeing. Are you not seeing what I'm doing here?
I'm
To start
seeing your
from, see the number here.
uh,
Start from Sunday, it means 1.
okay.
Week starts from Sunday, 1.
Mm-hmm.
And if you wanted to start from Friday, so you can start with, should start with, they wanted to start on Friday, that should be like 6. Oh, sorry, it takes 1 to 3. Sorry, it takes 1 to 3.
Why? But that write-up says it takes from 1 to 7.
No, it gives you days, day of the week 1 to 7.
It's
So
confusing. I
Kingsley,
don't
please, I don't
understand.
Ah,
understand.
Kingsley, Epele, because it's not
Watch
clear.
it. Look at the function. Yeah, it doesn't take more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what I
So
mean is
why is that?
this
That's
output
what.
we are getting, this 4, 5, 6, what does it imply? What does it
Not
imply
name
to
of the day, not number of the days of the week. They are numbers. Now watch this. Let me expand this
I don't
more.
understand.
Sunday equals
Sunday
to
go
1
to 1.
through
Okay,
Saturday
Saturday
go to
7.
7.
If you
7.
pick the
Okay.
other one, Monday is 1 through Saturday
Sunday
Sunday
7.
7. If you pick the next one, Monday is 0 through
0.
Sunday 6.
Okay, I think I understand
Depending on
now.
what you want.
Okay.
so
So you're
but
the one
what
that will choose when you want your week to start.
Yes. If you take the
so
Yeah,
third
exactly.
one, Monday starts from 0. If you take the
It's what you choose that will
second one,
determine what is going to populate
and
for
so
us.
what should inform my choice here?
what should inform your choice is your region where you are. When do you start your, when is your first
Week
working day?
starting. Some people's week starts on Monday, while some Sunday.
Yeah, when is your first working day?
Yeah.
Monday. Then
Monday now.
you put 2.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
Sorry. Welcome to that.
Okay. Oh, but Kingsley, so far this DAX, Mbano, you
That's
never
the
enter.
most. It's because there is no alternative to it. You just have to write it. Unlike,
It's tricky.
but it's straightforward. You just started learning it.
No,
It's not straightforward. All right.
it's a bit tricky.
Sorry. But I suppose you are using the production of you are in a production company and they have expiry date of their product to be like 3 months after. Let's say all their products expire like, okay, after 4 months. So you can use the expiry date function in that to handle that. I think that's also in Excel. So we can say all our product expires after 3 days, after 3 months. So we'll call it expiry date. And what's the function? E dates, and E date says return the date that is the indicated number of months before or after the date starts. So in other words, you can give it minus for before, or give it normal number, or that's positive number for after. It goes with a start date, and the start date will take it as our normal calendar date. 3 months after, 4 months after it, that's number of months, can you see? 4 months after it, our stuff expires. So it means this is the expiry date, and it gives it to you in date time, which you can come here and convert it to dates. And let's use the same date format. We're using this one. This one is straightforward, isn't it?
No. So the date is saying 1st July 2016. How come the expiry date is 1st November 2016?
4 months after.
That means 4 months after. Oh.
You're not saying it there. 4 months after. Calm down. It's straightforward.
Kingsley.
Kingsley, please, can you recap on this, please?
Kingsley.
Here is the
No,
function.
no.
So
This is a function.
the four we put there, is the function recognizing it as months? Like, is it
Yes, recognize it as months. The thing is that you guys are not watching what I'm doing. And I'm also saying it, but you're not paying attention to it. When I
I'm
we
got
are
to
all
watching
this
it.
glued
point,
to our screens?
pay attention. When I got to this point, it shows there months, and I explained it months.
Okay.
But you are not paying attention there.
Yeah, I accept this part. I wasn't
Beautiful.
paying attention.
To help us learn. And then if you think it's 5, and this is going to help you. So now this is a straightforward calculation, but sometimes there could be some products. You could actually manually type in if a product is manufactured on January and it is Capri Sun, it expires after this. Use the enum and then combine it with other statements. If it's banana, it expires after so number of months or so number of days. So you'll be able to do those complex calculations using a combination of if statement, and the date.
So this date, does it mean expiry date or end date?
Well, it just like, what does it really mean? Now time to go to time intelligence. So for everything you want to do in the course of your learning, understand that there is a place called documentation. Documentation is like the manual that explains to you how to do a thing, and it explains it to you with example. The only thing it doesn't is how you could actually combine multiple functions together, but it will explain to you that particular function. It's the same thing there with M language. It's the same with DAX function, Python, SQL. And as an IT person, your single source of truth for information is the documentation. If documentation says otherwise, and a video tutorial says another thing, go with the documentation. Documentation might not explain it the way the video tutorial does, but it is a single and updated source of truth. That's what documentation is. And all we need to go is that's documentation. Just browse it there. And remember, because DAX belongs to Microsoft, you go with the one that is Microsoft. Other people would have created their own DAX guide. Look at DAX, how it works. That's even from AWS. The owners are Microsoft. You go with it. And this is DAX. Look at it by the side. It's not so much. So if I want, these are DAX function. Let me collapse this. So this is DAX function, DAX statement. And this is where we are paying all our attention. What we did now is time intelligence. I could search it here. E-date. Can you see? It comes out. And I will open it. And what does it tell us? E-date returns the dates that is indicated, that is the indicated number of months before or after the dates, the start date. Use e-dates to calculate maturity dates or due dates that fall on the name on the same day of the month as the dates or the date issued. And this is a syntax. And it goes ahead to explain the syntax. What does the start date means? A date in the date time or text format that represents the start date, months, an integer that represents the number of months before or after the date time. And then it goes, what will it return to you? It will return a date time value, which is what it returned, and we converted it to dates. And then it gives you a remark with some example. And here is an example it gives to you. This is how to use documentation. And when we come here, you can see more amazing time intelligence function, calendar also, date difference. As a matter of fact, let us use this. Can we use date difference? Let's try and use date difference. Is it? Yeah, date difference. What does it say? So date difference returns the number of interval boundaries between two dates. So if we have Monday, especially if we have a day as 1st January 2024, and you use this date difference, so which would take two kind of dates, and then it will take 10th January 2024. Can you see date 1, date 2? What interval do you want it to be? I want it to be in days. So in days will be, I'll just put day. What happens is it will count from here to here, and that is 9 days. To return it in days for you. To say this, what is the difference? What is this date minus this date? What will it give us? Give it to us in days, number of days to do this, and give you this. If you want it in months, you put months. Year, you put year. And you should also be able to put weeks. Is this one clear?
This example, if you put it in months, I'm sorry, in weeks, for example, will it also return the day and then the fraction of number of, sorry, will it return weeks? Since we have 9 days, will it say 1 week and 2 days?
No,
When
it's
you return
going to
the
return
fraction,
no, it will return number of weeks.
but it won't be exact then.
Yes, so it's not going to be exact. That's why that now depends on what you want.
Yeah.
If you want it to give you exact month, you have to do some much more complex calculation. Meanwhile, let's put it into practice. And this is also what I do. I will just come here. I don't like memorizing, like I also advise. I don't like memorizing syntax. I just come here if I don't remember the syntax I want. Let me erase this. I'll come here, copy my syntax. Well, meanwhile, I would have read it well.
Just press copy now.
Oh, thank you. So see what it can give us. Seconds, minutes, hour. So this is the interval for what you want. And that gives you some nice calculation. And imagine that example in this article can be used with the sample adventure works database data warehouse 2020 Power BI desktop model to get the model, see DAX model. So you can go here and then see the DAX model used. And then it took this, it took that, and it returned the year. You're the one that is requesting for the year, month, and all those things. Use a function called evaluate. Then store it in a variable, start date, end date. Are you with me, Peculiar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then it used the return flag to say, return, give us the year first, give us the quarter, give us the month, weeks, and day. Do you want us to practice this one? Do you want us to use this and see what it gives us? First of all, let us use that one, and then we can come and see how we can use this complex one.
Basically, we need time up to clear our brain cache. You don't fool.
Okay, don't want to use this, don't want to practice this, that's fine.
Want to practice, but I don't know about others too.
And this is what it will give you. All right, so let us move on. Let us move
Let's
on.
practice now. I didn't say we should not practice. So.
All right, so let's do the date difference, and
Kingsley, you're laughing.
I will allow you finish. I will allow you do your thing.
You're laughing. Oh my
I'll allow you
God.
do your thing. See how time is flying. We're doing the visual. We're going to do visual.
Finish everything today.
So you can go and start building your dashboard.
Oh my God.
So how do we name it?
I'm in Tava.
So let's say, all right, no, I don't want to do it here. So I'm going to cancel. I want to find that because we want to be descriptive, guys. So I want to find out the age of our customers. Perhaps we have package we want to give to them. So we want to find out their age. We have their date of birth, remember? And remember, it has to be in date format. Let's be sure it's the date data type. Yes, it's date data type. Now let's do this calculation. We want to know the age of our customers and prepare some package for them. Or
Kingsley, sorry, apologies. Did you select the column for date of birth intentional? So we have to select it each time we want to do the calculation.
no, I didn't. I only used it to show you that it's in date data type.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to paste this. This is a syntax. What dates is he looking for? The first one. So the first date is calendar, customer. That's this date of birth.
Date of birth.
So what date are we going to use to know what will be the next date to know their age as at
Today's
today?
date. Today's
What will
date.
be today's date.
Yes.
And it's so easy to say today's date. There is a function called today. That's it. Let us look it up here. Today, look at it. And that's what it does. Returns the current date. That's how amazing it is. So what it's gonna do, today's date minus the date of birth, give it to us in year.
Yeah.
Can you see all the different way you can return it or go and pick year? And here we go. Let's know their ages. And you see, amazing job.
You
It's
don't
really
old.
amazing. Now pensioners.
I get to see that. I'll be the care home.
No, you're not serious. They're 114.
Ah, our grandparents.
All right. So you have been able to see some amazing things. In this DAX function, I won't be able to go through all those functionalities. You could see that there are so many. Just like I wasn't even able to go through all the functionalities in Power Query. But you get it. You can go to documentation and do amazing things. So this is how it goes. This is DAX function. When you expand it, you will see all the different things here. You can come here and filter what you want. You can browse on Google to get the function you want. So we have math function. We have logical function. We have financial function for those that like money. Then we have filter, and these filter functions come very handy in all the things. Please, it's important you learn them. And I hope that one of the days we dedicate just one day and start going through some of them and see the ones we can manage to put in our head, if that works. All right, so that's it. You can go through any of them. We also have text function. And what was the next one there? Time intelligence function. Date added, date add, date between, dates in period. I'm sure you've been hearing of dates year to day, date quarter to day, date month to date. When they want to calculate year to date from so year to so date, what's our financial statement saying? What's our sales talking about? These things are there for you to use. You don't go and start building complex things. All right, so I will allow you to read documentation. And yes, guys.
Those other applications like Excel or MySQL have this kind of documentation.
Yes, Excel documentation. It's there, Microsoft. Documentation, that's what I asked for, documentation. Support. This Excel adding documentation. Yeah, Microsoft 365 documentation. I think that's where you get Excel and PowerPoint.
Okay.
There are so many. Can't go there. Look at them. If you want that documentation for admin, look at the product team documentation. Let's look for, do we have Excel especially? App documentation. Can't find only Excel.
365 apps and Microsoft 365 apps. That should be it. Maybe it's different.
So no, I think it's get started. All documentations are here. Excel help and support. Start. You just have to search, honestly. But it's better you search what you want in Excel. Just search what you want to do, browse it, and then you will see the formulas come up. You will see a lot of people that have explained something there. The same thing with Power BI, Power M code. SQL, even SQL Server, and T-SQL, every documentation is online. And that's how you prepare people how to use your products. All right, so we are here now. Try and see what we have done. And see, there's a lot of calculations we can do, but let's head to this place. I'm going to use, so we have done this. I'm going to use this to explain some things. On this Power BI, this is the filter pan. This is visualization pan. And this is a data pan. So when you want when you want any column, you come to the data pan. You can search here, sales data. You can see everything that has to do with sales. If you know what you're looking for, you search for it here. And the same thing, this part, on this visualization pan, you have all the visuals you want. So I'm not going to be able to go through all these visuals. I will use one to explain. And then we need to have one class that we'll use to go through as many visuals as we want. And that's why next sprint, I will not be giving you extra visual. We're going to be going through the entire process of creating dashboards, eliciting requirements, documentation. Those are the things we're going to be going through so that you build much more confidence, getting you ready for the market. So I've picked this. So this is the visual. If you want more visual, you come here, get more visual. I am logged in. So I should be able to, since I am logged in, hide this. If I want to get more visual, I'll go to Microsoft Marketplace, get more visual here. So it should take me to the web. Good, it's opening. Now you see the marketplace. That's because I am logged in. So in case you don't have any visual, the visual you're looking for is not there, you can come to custom visual. And see here, you can search for them like this. For flow, see them, API, whatever you're looking for, you find them. If you feel confident enough, you can help Microsoft build their own visual and upload the visual here, custom visual here, and sell it. All right. So to get that, remember you come to these three ellipses and get more visual. I have tried that before, but sometimes some of them disappoint because they are not owned by Microsoft. So if you want to make your work better, you come to this format your visual, and then it will give you. So for instance, I want to make, this is my x-axis, this is my y-axis. If I want to make my x-axis, I don't know if anybody has, if you still have your color guide. So I can go to my x-axis, say, I don't want the name, I don't want my x-axis. So when I go to x-axis, the value means the numbers here, the value here. Black, multicolor, yellow. Then the title is this. So I don't want the title, I will just hide it. It's gone. And yes, I want the value. Now on this value, I want to work on it. So I want it to be Arial, and I want it to be 9 is fine. And I want, what else do I want? I don't want it to be bold. If I want it bold, I will just click on bold. Perhaps we should just leave it as bold. All right, so the same way, because you need to be consistent, let's do that for that's x-axis. So this is layout. What's in layout? Maximum category width. So I don't want to bother myself about this. And I'm done with x-axis. Let me go to y-axis. This is the y-axis. If I want to make it better, I will quickly come here. Come here. The value is what I'm interested in. I don't want the title. Why do I not want the title? The reason I don't want the title is because the name of the product, the name of the title of the chart already explains what should be on this right, on the Y, and what should be on the X-axis. So I don't necessarily need the title of the Y-axis and X-axis. So the same way I want to go to here and do this, I want to make it bold, just like I made the one. X and Y axis needs to be consistent. So this is the title. I'm done with X and Y axis. You're going to make, this is going to make more sense when you start practicing it. So I'm done with X and Y axis. What else do I want? That title, I want to work on it. So I will come to, I can't find title anywhere. I'll go to general. So I can see title. Title is on. If I off it, it disappears. If I on it, it's there. So title. Okay, so the title is there, it's here. Total quantity by total quantity by product color. So I'll just make the product color, spell it out properly. And so the header is 3. Let me use the same area and increase it, make it bold. So I can leave it there, or I can centralize it and keep it to the left, depending on what you want. I like it where it is. See? So when I click it, there are still some things I want to do. Let's go and work on this bar. So I'll go back here, bar. This is my data. Okay, the data label. You see this number? I can bring this number in here. And you know the way we did it in Excel. Immediately I bring these numbers in here, I don't need the value again on the y-axis. So I can come in here on my data label. It's up here. Since it's up here, now let me go to y-axis and say I don't want my data label. And then because I have on the data label, I want to kind of make it look better a little bit. So this is my data label. The value is what I earned. So on the value, I want it to be area. I want it to kind of bold. Let me make it 10. Because it's number, you want them to see it properly. So you want to work on the units. You can make it none to expand. And I think I like it this way for context. And you can also take any other one. If you say you don't want any unit of measurement, you just remove it to none. Author will automatically pick one. Custom, you choose what you want. All right, so let's look at some other things. I'm giving you these things to get us started immediately. This data, this bar charts, where do we have it? Okay, so let's go to general. And that this, no, it's not it's not here. Where do we have the bar charts, column, ribbon, data label?
Is that not the columns?
Oh, that's the columns. Thank you. Thank you. So let's say we don't want the color at all, which sometimes we will not want. Make the transparency 100%. And then we'll on the border, you want the border. And then we can go in and choose the border color. Perhaps you know your color guide. You can work on it. That's the color. And you want to increase the width of the color. So you choose what you want, guys. You choose what you want. And what else? There's a whole lot you can do here. but we have been able to do some amazing things
Sorry,
already.
sorry, thank you.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? The background is we do it the way we did the Excel one as well. As in the
The background
background,
here
the
is
slider.
white. The background here is white. So we can remove the background. Let's look for background.
Is it plot
General.
area?
What did you say?
Is it plot area background?
Me,
Yes,
I'm
plot
asking about
area
the
background.
general area background.
Yes, that's the plot area background.
We missed it now. Is that the other place before? Yeah, down.
Plot area background. So, no, something is missing here. Let's type background. That's
Background color.
title, background color. This should be the one we're looking for. So if I change this to let me make it blue. So you see? So if that's the
One of the old background of the dashboard,
old
not the
background,
plot, not the plot area, like the general one.
the general one, that's fine.
Yeah.
We'll get there. I think I
Okay,
already
sorry.
have something. So here we can, make it transparent in case there's a background. Can make it transparent and depending on what you want. Now let's work on the whole background. If you want to work on the background of the interface, you click on the background itself. When you click on it, you go to this format again.
I
Then
need
you
to
will
look at.
see canvas background.
Okay.
Then you can choose any color you want. It's white now. You can choose any color you want. It's not showing this color because transparency is 100%. Bring it
Okay.
back and it takes the color.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Good. And if I don't want this, I think I want have something on my distance. So if I don't want that, I can browse image and go to desktop where I have a certain image. Do I can't find my image? Oh wow. Why not? All right, so don't worry. You can, let me see if I can PowerPoint. If I can get any of my background, if I actually saved any. Says background, good. Oh, it's deleted. Sorry about that. But then I could just get one little thing and then save it. I just do it in 1 minute. I want to just create a sales background quickly and power. So I'll just create insert image. I don't want this, just don't disturb me. Image shapes. I'll just pick what I want and maybe just have this here. Have this here. I'm just creating a quick background. And then have this here. No beauty, no aesthetics. Duplicate it. All right, so, and you know how we align it. Horizontally distributed, then I will position it. So I'll just take this like this, save it. Then I'm going to save it as a PNG. Sorry, JPEG. My boss told me yesterday that I should save it as JPEG. It's better off. So I learned that yesterday. And so you'll be thinking all these things we're doing is nothing until you go to work. All right, so I want to have it on my desktop so it will be easy to access. Yes. Presentation. Yeah, just this one. And now I can come here, come to browse and look for it on my desktop. I can find it here and then I'll bring it. Now I have brought it. It looks like we're not seeing it because transparency is 100%. Bring it back here and here we go. We have it. Here we go. And you start arranging your stuff inside it. Start arranging. Now remember, you don't need, since you don't want this, so you go to the visual again, go to format, the data, the background of your stuff. Since we didn't find it like that, let's look for its background. Come here. So our background will make it transparent. Then everything is in there. So you notice that we can't read our stuff, but you edit your text, you edit your stuff to align with the background. And guys, I'm going to stop here. I am beginning to, I've taken so much of your time.